don't have it on. Take their seats, please. Everyone take your seats. The program is about to begin. Everyone, please take your seats on this glorious day of celebration of Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr.
I didn't hear what she said. Good afternoon. My name is Kim Clark, and I'm what we call the senior warden here at St. Peter's. That means just that I'm the lay leader of our congregation. And on behalf of St. Peter's, I welcome you. Our parish is honored, and we are delighted to be here today with you, celebrating the life and ministry of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the power of children to make a difference in our world. As a blessing for our march, I offer you today a prayer for the human family, which is from our Episcopal Book of Common Prayer. O God, you made us in your own image and redeemed us through Jesus, your Son. Look with compassion on the whole human family. Take away the arrogance and the hatred which infects our hearts. Break down the walls that separate us. Unite us in bonds of love, and work through our struggle and confrontation to accomplish your purpose on earth, that in your good time, all nations and races may serve you in harmony around your heavenly throne. Through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Good afternoon. My name is Tanya Hughes, and I'm the Executive Director of the Commission on Human Rights and Opportunities, and I am so happy to welcome you all here on this beautiful, sunny, crisp New England day. I'm so grateful for the sun today, but I'm also grateful that today we honor a leader of all people, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. Dr. King's vision was for a more diverse America where all people enjoyed the benefits of equality, and it's a legacy that we must continue to fight for, always. We commend Dr. King for always taking the high road. His courage and determination never wavered in the face of oppressive legislation, hatred, and acts of violence. Today is a day to reflect on all the progress that has been made in large part because of this great man, understanding how far we still have to go in the fight for equality. And to that vein, I'm so happy to acknowledge some of our distinguished guests. We have with us today our very own Governor, Ned Lamont, our Lieutenant Governor, Susan Byshewitz. We have several members of the constitutional officers and the legislature, and what we're doing together with CHRO is setting a model for the country on how equity works in state government. We have a lot of CHRO members here with us, and if you are here and you either work for CHRO, you intern at CHRO, you're a commissioner of CHRO, would you please stand and be recognized at this moment? Thank you for joining us today. Many of our CHRO employees began their journey as interns, including our own deputy director. So you can see with a lot of hard work, you can progress in state government. We've had a great story of evolution at CHRO. We've expanded our authority, we've increased our workforce. 50% of our workforce is either new or newly promoted. So I'm so happy about that. We've increased training in the state of Connecticut. We work closely with our stakeholders, and we have a excellent diversity, equity, and inclusion team that is doing phenomenal work all across social media. Please check us out. You can find us on our website at ct.gov/CHRO, and you can hook up with all of our social media from that point. So I want to encourage our youth, please join us as interns. If you're a young adult or any age adult, you can join our staff as vacancies become available. And please listen out for the youth you are going to hear from this afternoon. They've been participating in our Kids Court Academy, and they are really phenomenal on their own. They're very committed, they're passionate, they're outspoken, and they're eloquent beyond measure. I can't wait for you to hear from these talented and mature young adults. So without further ado, I'll introduce you to our Deputy Director, Cheryl Sharp.
Thank you so much. I am happy to see each and every one of you here. Today is about Dr. Martin Luther King, and today is about the children. In 1963, we had the Children's Crusade, where over 1,000 children gathered and marched. They marched for equality, they marched for equity, they marched for peace. And today, in this suburban community of which I am a member, we have our young people and the young people from cities around Cheshire, Connecticut coming together to join hands and to walk for unity, equality, and peace. And we are so proud. We have members from our Connecticut Kids Court Academy. If you are in Connecticut Kids Court Academy, please stand. This is a social justice program. Please give these young people a round of applause. These are the next leaders. This is the next generation of leaders in our communities. They are going to carry the torch. They are Dr. King's dream. You're looking at it. Look around you at a young person and tell that person, you are Dr. King's dream. Every last young person in here, you are Dr. King's dream. And we, the adults that are surrounding you, are going to catapult you into the positions of power that you need to stand in order to change not only Connecticut, but to change this nation. I am so honored to be joined by our governor, our lieutenant governor, our representative here in Cheshire, Liz Lanahan. We have Geraldo Reyes who represents Waterbury. These are our leaders now. One day, our young people will be standing in their shoes, making a difference, and we're so excited. We're so excited to march, and we're so excited to hear from you. So, I'm going to say this to every adult in the room. Today is about who? The children. So all of our speeches are going to be really short, and we're going to hear from the children, okay? All right, so our first speaker, who is a member of Kids Court Academy as well, is Layla Hughley. If you would come forward and go to the mic over here, and let me pull out. Pull out the stand for you. So you can go ahead and begin.
Good afternoon. I am Layla Hughley, and I am a 5th grade student and a member of KCA, and it is an honor to be speaking today. First, I'd like to thank KCA, CHRO, Attorney Sharp, Miss Anna Mitchell for the opportunity. I'd also like to honor everyone here today. I am excited to be a part of KCA because it has taught me about the power of using my voice to bring about positive change. KCA reminds us that we are never too young to stand up for ourselves and for people who can't. Just like Martin Luther King Jr. and the children who marched for civil rights, today we come together being reminded about the power of unity, hope, peace, and strong will. MLK has taught us about the power of organizing as a community, and in community there's hope. It's beautiful when adults and children can come together and stand for change. Now I leave you with this quote by MLK. We shall overcome. because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Layla. Next, we are going to hear from twins, Jeremy Works and Ezekiel Works, representing St. Peter's Episcopal Church. They are also members of Kids Court Academy. Let me pull this out for you, Ezekiel. Today, on this very day, some messages of hate were passed around. But we can never, ever drive out hate with hate. We can only drive out hate with love. So let's listen to our children and hear their message of love.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jeremy Works, and I am in 5th grade and a member of St. Peter's Church. Martin Luther King Jr. was an inspiration for change in our history. His effort in the civil rights movement made way for a more inclusive society. He fought for equality, justice, and freedom for all, leaving an unforgettable mark on the fight against racial discrimination. Through his inspiring speeches and nonviolent activism, he challenged and urged us all to dream of a world where some people are judged not by the color of their skin, but by the character in his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy continues to inspire us for a better, more equal future, which is why we need this to continue by doing this march. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Ezekiel Works, and I'm a 5th grader at Doolittle School, and a member of St. Peter's Church. Today, as we march in the streets of Cheshire on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, let's remember the strengths of our voices and our dreams. We need to be creative in building a world free of discrimination and by breaking down ideas built on hatred. Martin Luther King Jr. has inspired us to be brave. He showed us how to protest for equal rights. So let's keep his dream going. As kids, teenagers, and adults march in Cheshire, we are brave. Thank you.
I'm definitely feeling more fired up than when I got here, as if that were possible. Excellent job, young people. The next student we are going to hear from is also a member of our Connecticut Kids Court Academy, and you see how they're raising their voices. One day, their voice is going to overtake mine, and I can't wait for that day. So Annie Stewart, if you could come up to the microphone over there. Annie Stewart is going to be followed by Trey LeConte, and if you could come to this mic, Trey. Go ahead, Annie.
Good afternoon. My name is Annie Stewart, and I am a 9th grader at Cheshire High School. I am excited to be back giving another speech this year, and I would like to start by thanking Attorney Cheryl Sharp and Anna Mitchell for inviting me back. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was an amazing man. Born on January 15, 1929, and died on April 14, 1968. He spent 13 years of his life dedicated to the civil rights movement. Now, we can all agree that Dr. King said many great things, but one of my all-time favorite quotes by him is as follows: "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." This statement is absolutely true. If we ignore an injustice anywhere at any time, we are indirectly paving the way for more to come. For me, being a part of KCA is more than just gaining knowledge and education. It's also about understanding the importance of being socially responsible. It means being aware of the unfairness that exists in our world and having the courage to speak up against it. When we are educated and aware of the issues around us, we can use our voices to bring positive change and make a difference in the world. Being a part of KCA allows us to make a positive impact in our community and empowers us to speak up when we witness something we know is unjust. By taking action and using our voices, we can create a better world for ourselves and future generations. So let's continue to educate ourselves, stand up for what is right, and make a positive impact on our communities. Thank you.
A few months ago, I attended an event called One of Millions. This event featured a Holocaust survivor, Ruth Weiner. She spoke of her experience growing up in Nazi Germany and the struggles that came with it. Her story had many details, but to me, a common theme stood out: exclusion. I believe this was the message Martin Luther King Jr. tried to bring attention to. Thankfully, I will never know what it's like to sit at the back of a bus or be forced to use separate facilities. However, I do know we have a long way to go before we all feel included and equal. As a participant in Kids Court Academy, we have touched on many topics, from voting rights to housing to gerrymandering to criminal justice reform. Growing up, I watched my dad teach history to high school students to prevent us from repeating the mistakes of the past. I watched my mom fight for the rights of all children to learn to read by the 3rd grade. It's important to understand whether or not you are blessed with equal opportunities or struggling to achieve them. The Constitution says they are created for all of us. I live in a town with little diversity, excellent schools, easy voting access, and low crime, yet I still understand this is not available in many communities. Kids Court has shown me that it's on all of us to speak up and speak out, and to find a better path forward so that equality and justice is served in all communities. Stronger communities make a stronger America, and that to me is a goal worth fighting for. Thank you.
The power that these young people hold as they raise their voices. Let's give them another round of applause. We are now going to call to the stand our youngest marcher, who is a speaker as well. He's 7 years old. He just turned 7. His name is Ace Shaw, and he is accompanied by Anna Mitchell, who without her hard work, determination, effort, contacting person after person, politician after politician, we would not have this event go off seamlessly as it does every year. So we are so thankful to her, and we look forward to hearing from our youngest speaker that will be a marcher as well, A. Shaw.
I have a dream. If Martin Luther King Jr. was alive, what would you ask him? I'll ask him, Martin Luther King Jr., can you come back to give us more peace? No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace.
No
justice, no peace. We start them young. Now we are going to hear brief remarks from the adults in the room. Someone told me to have a hook ready so I could say, but we're not going to do that, because every adult standing on or sitting now on this stage understands that this is about the young people, right? And we want to hear and be inspired, though, by these people who were once really the same size as you are now, right? And they have paved a way for us in so many ways. So we want to give them the respect that they're due, listen to the words that they're saying, and get our voices ready to walk the streets of Cheshire in solidarity. So without further ado, we have State Representative Geraldo Reyes, who will be over there at that mic, followed by State Representative Liz Linehan, who will be right here at this mic. And I'm going to be standing right here.
No, please, sir, you.
Ladies first.
Uh-oh, he said ladies first. Obviously, he's never met me. Hi there. I'm Liz Linehan. I'm your state representative here in Cheshire, and we are here for the kids, and I'm going to be as brief as possible. But I come from the school where I don't want to talk to you, I want to talk with you. So I'm going to ask, when I give a couple suggestions of how we can help our kids effectuate change in this world, I want to hear back from you to say, yes, we will. How does that sound? Are we good? Is this okay? So, first of all, when we talk about equality, which was everything that Reverend Martin Luther King was all about, we have now looked at that and asked it to evolve into equity. Equality is opening the doors for everyone and inviting them in. But equity is about the person that arrives without a coat, we provide one for that person. That is the difference between equality and equity. And we need to fight for equity in this community and in every community. And the best way that we can do that for our children is by modeling that behavior. Are you parents ready to model that behavior? Yes, we will. So, the first thing I'm going to ask, and this sounds like something you might already be doing, but think about it. Look inward. Check your own bias. We are human. We have biases, whether we know it or not. So the best thing that we can do is question our actions, question if they come from bias, and talk about it out loud with our children so that they can question their own. Is that something you will do? Can I get it a little louder? Is that something you'll do? Yes, we will. Another thing that we need to do is to actually show how to speak up for ourselves and for others. The way we do it with respect and dignity, not only for ourselves, but also the people we're speaking to. That's how we get that peaceful message across, just like Dr. Martin Luther King. Will we model the behavior to speak up and speak out, but still be respectful of others and ourselves? Is that something we will do? Yes, we will. And finally, what we really, really need to do is continue to have that conversation. Openly discuss racism when you see it. Openly discuss bias when you see it. Don't be afraid to say to your kids, this is what it looks like. Don't be afraid to say to your kids, this is what happens if we don't. So every single person in this room, and the neighbor next to you, the person that you'll see at the grocery store, the person that you will talk on the phone with later this evening, remind them that speaking up means we have to do it often. We have to do it with respect, and we have to call it out when we see it and explain how we need change. Is that something you are willing to do? Yes, we will. Is that something you are willing to do? Yes, we will. I'll be right there along with you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you out at the march.
State Representative Liz Linehan. I know what I'm doing. Ladies first for a reason. Great job, Representative. It is my pleasure to be here representing the city of Waterbury, and I too am a child. I'm a big child. I am here because I stood on the shoulders of people who dreamed that a young Puerto Rican boy growing up in Waterbury in a very racist situation would one day be an engineer, one day be a political figure in the state of Connecticut. People were able to see in me things I didn't see in myself. That's why I came here to talk to the children. I bring my grandchildren everywhere we go. They've been all over the state. Julian and Veda have been all over the state. When I was growing up, I didn't have that luxury of anybody bring me anywhere. So I am always about giving it forward, just like Dr. Martin Luther King did. He always took service for others before yourself. The most important takeaway is what you're doing for others that can better their lives, their opportunities that you didn't have as a child or even in your adult life. Today you have an opportunity to march like Martin Luther King Jr. did, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did, but you have an opportunity to do it with so many fellows from Cheshire, greater Cheshire region, and just because we don't look like, we're all the same. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you to our state representatives. They are beacons of light in our communities. Thank you so much. We are now turning to Drum roll, please. Where's our drummer? Is he here yet? Okay. So, we have to keep you moving, everyone. Our Lieutenant Governor has been here with us from the very start of our Children's March, from the very first year, from its inception. We appreciate her so much for that. This has always been an important event for her. She has stood in her truth and has shown us an example of a woman in power who is both graceful, humble, yet powerful. She is the epitome of what Dr. Martin Luther King wanted for all of us, to let our light shine so that it can be seen by others. Without further ado, our Lieutenant Governor.
Well, good afternoon, Cheshire, and we're going to have a little audience participation. Now, I want to highlight how women and young people helped Dr. Martin Luther King achieve some of his signature initiatives, like the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act. So this lady is called the First Lady of Civil Rights because she did not give up her seat on the bus. So kids, what was her name? All right, Rosa Parks. Okay, this is a tougher one because a lot of people know Rosa Parks. So there was a 15-year-old girl who, like Rosa Parks, refused to give up her seat on a bus during the Montgomery bus boycotts, and she was arrested as a teenager, and she was one of the people who moved that forward. Does anybody know her name? Her name was Claudette Colvin, and at 15 years old, she was doing what Rosa Parks was doing. And you know, in 1955, when we had the bus boycotts, so that people, all people could sit together wherever they wanted on the bus, Dr. Martin Luther King organized that, and he was only 26 years old. He was a national civil rights leader as a very young man. Unfortunately, he had a spouse who was with him at his side at every step of the way, and when he was taken away too young at age 39, this lady continued his work. And the hint is she was married to Dr. King. And the hint is? Coretta Scott King, yes indeed. And she expanded on Dr. King's message of civil rights, and she was a leading voice in the women's movement and a leading voice for LGBTQ plus rights. And here's the final one that I'll ask you. So this lady helped organize the I Have a Dream March. And who's heard Dr. King's speech? All right. Who's seen the picture of him in Washington, D.C., looking out over the reflecting pool and the march and seeing hundreds of thousands of people? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dorothy Height was the person who brought more than 100,000 people to the March on Washington. She was the founder of the National Council for Negro Women and is known as the godmother of the civil rights movement. And I bring up these names and these young people because history doesn't always highlight them. And I want you young people to hear the message that that power is in you. So I'm going to ask, continuing in the Liz Lenahan tradition, I'm going to ask younger, and less young to join me in saying that you will help us address these problems that the governor and I are fighting to address. So can the governor and I count on you to end hunger and poverty in Connecticut? Yes. All right. Can we count on you to help eliminate disparities in health care so that all people get access to great health care? Can we count on you to end discrimination and sexism and racism wherever it is in Connecticut? Well, I'm done. Thank you.
So let's hear it, everyone. Yes, we can. You can say it a little bit louder. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Thank you so much to our Lieutenant Governor. It is so important to have leaders such as our Lieutenant Governor who, again, they stand in their truth. They tell us about our history and let us know how we can move forward together. Now, our illustrious governor who is leading our state in the state where the Connecticut Commission on Human Rights and Opportunities is the oldest governmental civil rights agency in the nation. Can you see why we're the oldest? Are you feeling the vibe in the room? Yes, yes, and our governor is going to uplift us even more with his message. So don't disappoint, Ned Lamont. It's your turn.
Pretty good energy here in St. Peter's. Pretty good energy. I gotta love it, and I gotta love these kids. We're not just here to remember the legacy of Martin Luther King. We're here to act on that legacy, knowing every day in order to form a more perfect union, that's what we have to do. And that's why I look at the young people right here. I love you guys. I love you standing up. Jeremy and Zeke, I love these two brothers. Jeremy's he's a minute younger, but he's a minute more mature. He just volunteered. But more to the point, Martin Luther King Day is a day that we remember that we have to fight every day for our liberties, fight every day for your liberties, fight every day to make sure that equity and justice for all are not just words, that they're real. And Martin Luther King's Day is not Ferris Bueller's Day off, but this is a day where we stand up, but we stand up for justice, and that's what I love about the Youth Corps right here. Today, leading a march, tomorrow, volunteering in your community, doing everything you can to make sure this is more of a fair and just society. And I want to say something else to the CHRO folks. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for making sure that Susan and me and Jerry and Liz live up to the ideals that we espouse. That's what CHRO does. We're trying to make sure that we have an administration and a government that works for each and every one of you, regardless of race, color, creed, and background. And CHRO holds us to that every day. And I'll just tell you that, Martin Luther King talked about peace, and he talked about justice. And, he famously said, true peace is not just nonviolence. True peace is not just an absence of tension. True peace is the presence of justice. And that's why we serve in the public. That's why these young people stand up every day, serving in order to form a more perfect union, fighting every day. And by the way, when Thomas Jefferson wrote those words, all men are created equal, nobody said, oh, Thomas, you're being woke, or that's too much DEI. He said, these are the ideals of our country, ideals we fight for every day, and that's why we stand up today and remember Martin Luther King. God bless you all.
I told you our governor would not disappoint. Can we give him another round of applause? Thank you. Thank you for leading our state. Are you ready? Say, yes, I'm ready. This month, march today is going to be led by our young people. Can I have Ethan Works, the older brother of the twins, Ezekiel and Jeremy Works, Daniel Stewart, please come to the front. Everyone else stay seated. Wait. We're moving too fast. Hold on 1 second. We're about to leave, but hold on 1 second. Please come and stand in the front. These two young people, and JCon, LeBron, where are you? These three young people are leading us in our march. They're leading the march. Where's our drummer? Where's our drummer? We're going to be led. Stretch out the band of young people like we did in rehearsal. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Okay. This is very important. We're going to be led out. Can I have my drummer come back here? And can I hear Francis McAlpine Sharp? Can you please begin? You got to push the mic on, and you should be starting to sing right now already.
We are the children.
Where?
In the movement.
Why?
We have to work. We have to march until our work is done. We have to hold up the freedom banner. We have to hold it up until victory is won, because we are the children. Where? In the movement. Why? We have to march until our work is done. We have to hold up the freedom banner. We have to hold it up till our victory is won. I said, we have to hold it up till our victory is won. Come on, baby, march for freedom. Are the children.
Let's march.
Where?
Woo!
In the movement. Why? We have to march till victory is won. We have to hold up the freedom banner. We have to hold it up till our work is done. Go ahead, babies. March for freedom. It's on you now, children. March, babies, march.